I'm late, I'm tired, and I haven't brought anything for show and tell. Hi there, I'm Anthony Kelly, and welcome to my language learning live stream, where I'm trying to figure out if I can get good at Japanese just using apps. And with the help from some friendly friends down here in the comments, friends like Urandi from the Netherlands, who was here a couple of weeks ago, and Rosensalt from the Philippines, who was here just last week. It is nice to see you today. Right now, it is midday Monday on the 14th of December, 2020, and we're being recorded live on twitch.tv/Anthony Kelly Yip and youtube.com/ a bunch of random letters and numbers. Why don't we have a nice address on YouTube, you may ask? That's because in order to get your own custom address on YouTube, you need to have 100 subscribers. And looking here, it seems that I have 12. That is one more than last week. So we are on the way to 100. We're just not quite there yet. Um, if you like this little show that we're doing every week, then you can drop on by to anthonykelly.live, where you can subscribe to my Twitch channel, to my YouTube channel, and you can also find links to my Instagram and Twitter, where I'll be posting at Anthony Kelly Yip, which is also over here. Hi there. It's nice to see you today. I haven't brought anything for show and tell. Normally, during the week, I'll see whether I can find any kind of products or things that either that we've already got at home or outside, that have Japanese writing on them. And I haven't done that this week. I have been lazy. I do have my Tokyo Tower mug here, that we did get from Tokyo Tower when we visited. Well, it must have been 5 years ago now. So I do have that, but it's all in English. There's no katakana or hiragana characters on there at all. And yeah, I have been studying katakana recently. So I'm an absolute beginner at Japanese, um, or just, slightly above that. And my goal when I started to learn Japanese was to get literate first, in that I want to be able to read the characters in front of me. Like if I'm traveling through Japan, I would like to be able to read where I'm going. Or I would like to be able to look at a product and know kind of what I'm looking at. And learning Japanese has been super fun. There are three different character sets that you need to learn in Japanese. The first one, which I always thought of as being mainly for words that are Japanese in origin. And we're going to get back to this in a second because this isn't 100% set in stone. But let me just load up a list of the characters. Okay, here we go. This is the hiragana character set. And the hiragana character set is, like I said, it's used mainly for words that are Japanese in origin. You can see across the top there is a, I, u, e, and o, the five Japanese vowel sounds. Um, but it isn't just vowels and consonants. Japanese characters, I guess you could say, are each syllables in their own right. So, sure, a, I, u, hold on, have a look at the top here. A, I, U, E, and O. These are, equivalent to, they're broadly equivalent to vowel sounds that you'll have in your own language. But then we have ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko. And this whole row is a consonant and a vowel. So I guess you could just think of it as being a syllable. It's a syllable that follows on from the vowels that we've learned. So we have a, I, u, e, and o. Ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko. Sa, shi, a little bit different. Su, se, and so on, all the way down until you get to the bottom, where there's some weird ones here. Um, we have wa and wo, and I'm going to tell you why they're weird in a second. we're going to get back to this in just a second. And the last one, mm, which sometimes comes across as sounding like an N sound, sometimes it's more like an M, and it depends on the word, but it's a consonant in its own right. So you could put that onto the end of another word, and it becomes like a final N or M sound on a word. So you know, we've got a whole character set here, which I learned. I learned using this app, which is really good. It's called Hiragana Pro. And if you have an Android phone, you can download this. There isn't an iOS version, as far as I know, but I'm sure there's other apps on iOS that you could use for learning hiragana. The second character set that you will learn is this one, katakana. Okay, katakana. If you look at the English for want of a better word, the Latin characters across here, and we still have a, I, U, E, and O, right? It's the same sounds. It's exactly the same sounds, but the characters are different. And you use these largely for words that are not Japanese. So a name, for example, if I were to write, I don't mean a Japanese name, if I were to write the name of a foreign person or the name of a country, um, or if it were a loan word, like there's so many loan words in Japanese, they are all written using this character set, katakana. And because of that, at first, and I've talked about this on previous streams, at first blush, it looks kind of complicated. Why do you need to learn two sets of characters? Um, but the words kind of stand out. And for me, as a language learner, that's super useful because you'll see a Japanese sentence, and a Japanese sentence will often have hiragana words, katakana words, and it will have kanji as well. And kanji is some words that are originally based on Chinese characters. So, there's three sets of characters all in the same sentence. Um, but the katakana words stand out as being different. And even as a language learner, if I see a sentence written in Japanese, my eyes are drawn to the kanji because there's a chance, a fairly reasonable chance, that I will know one of the words in that sentence, even if I haven't learnt the Japanese vocabulary for that thing. And I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so let me just jump through things that I've seen over the last week. By the way, this week I've changed up a few things here. We should be streaming in 1080p. So the text on screen, oh, it doesn't look particularly clear. The text is supposed to be clearer. Okay, I have also increased the text size. So hopefully the text on Duolingo in a moment will be a little bit easier to read than before. Okay, so now I'm not looking at the bottom just yet. Okay, so these are words that I've come across when studying Duolingo over the past week. This first one, this is kone, kone, and I've deliberately kind of zoomed in on the word at the top here so that I don't remind myself by seeing the answer at the bottom. But this word in English is connection, kone. Now, I don't know the emphasis here. Again, I'm an absolute beginner at Japanese, so I don't know whether it is kone or kone. I'm not sure about that. You might want to find out. Um, Connection. Now, I don't know what kind of connection this is. Is it like a connection to a person, or is it a connection to a phone network? We'll find out later on. Okay. Let's learn to read katakana. This is one of the tips pages that you get when doing the katakana exercises on Duolingo. And I mentioned this, but I thought it was quite funny. So, one thing that I try to keep in mind during my study is that whatever language you're learning, in my case it's Japanese, it is a different language to your native language. And that should go without saying, right? Of course, it's a different language. But what I mean by that is that just because something in Japanese, when we write it down in English, just because it's written with a K, it doesn't mean that the sound that is being made is exactly a K. It could be equivalent, it could be similar, but it doesn't mean that it's exactly the same. And as soon as you can, you should try to speak whatever language you're learning without worrying too much. Oh, how would I write this in English or in my own native language, right? Um, or how could I write this phonetically? I think that as soon as possible, you should just be speaking the language and trying to mimic as closely as possible the sounds that other people are making. And one example here is this character. So this character in katakana and in hiragana, but here this is the katakana word. This is ru, ru, and it is often written as ru, but it's not. It's not an R. Um, it sounds somewhere in between, like an R sound and an L sound. And, what you think is an R sound might be different from what I think is an R sound, right? Um, a Spanish person would think that an R sound is different to what an English person would think. Or even, you know, English speaking people from different countries or different regions have a different idea of what a sound is. So it's probably not a good idea for you to become too fixated on how to write something in your native language and to just focus on, how to speak, Japanese as a Japanese person would. But this is really nice. I like this. Okay. For ru, remember that the R sounds, remember that the R sounds a bit like the T in kitty. And I mentioned this last week if you were watching our previous stream. How can it sound like a T? Because I think kitty, like Hello Kitty. um, but then I thought to myself, oh, well, it says it right here in North American English. Kitty. Not kitty, as I would say in English. It sounds a little bit like kitty, ri, kitty. I can hear it. I can kind of hear it. So I just wanted to show you that. I mean, here they say, so if you look at the top here, we have ru, nu, hi, and ho. Okay. Uh, they say nu like canoe, canoe. He like he, maybe. Ho like hoax. Hmm. So yeah, I guess that's one way of trying to remember the sounds. Do whatever works for you. Okay, let's keep going. What else have I seen over the last week? Okay, this is one. Um, Again, katakana is often used for loan words. So when we see these words, you can guess that you might know this word already. Okay? And this word is pronounced miruku. What's that? Miruku. Now, my first thought was it sounds a bit like miracle. Miruku, miracle. But no, miruku is down at the bottom, milk. Miruku, milk. And I'm pretty sure there's a Japanese word for milk that I haven't learnt yet. But I also know that from like traveling in Japan, if you bought milk chocolate, for example, and I'm using this as an example, I might be wrong here, but if you bought some snacks and things that were milk flavored snacks, they would write miruku on the snack. So, if you're buying ice cream, that's useful. It's useful if you know kind of like what flavors are on the menu. And it can help you to avoid flavors like wasabi. Okay, what was this next one? What was this next one? My screen is quite big, so I can, look at the top without looking at the bottom. Oh, I knew this one already. Okay, so these three characters are ho, te, hoteru. Hoteru. Again, I'm not sure about the emphasis, like which consonant should sound stronger. But what is hoteru in English? Hotel. Hoteru. Hotel. I think that's pretty cool. And that actually helped me because I was in Japan. This was 4 years ago. So we got married in Japan, and um, I I met one of my old friends over there, and we were looking at a map, and on her phone everything was in Japanese, and we were looking for the hotel, and I literally saw this word hoteru and recognized what it was. Um, to both of our surprises, because my katakana isn't great now. It was worse then. Okay, what was this one? Kitsune, 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 kitsune. I can't remember what this was. These are all things that I've already looked at because I've been trying to practice my katakana every day on Duolingo. And so I've seen this before, but I'm looking at it right now. Kitsune. And I can't remember what this is. Fox. Fox. Kitsune. Fox. We're going to come back to this in a moment. Now, I said at the beginning of this segment that katakana is used mainly for loan words, but I've been noticing it being used a lot for like animal names and like for the names of like fruits and vegetables. And some of them are still obviously loan words, like banana is banana. Um, but where does kitsune come from? I imagine a fox is a native animal in Japan. There are foxes in Japan. I imagine there's a Japanese word, but why is it written in katakana? Why is it written in the more phonetic uh, language rather than hiragana? We'll find that out later. We should search for that in a moment. So kitsune is fox. Okay, what have we got there? Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at the bottom. I know what this one is without looking. Okay. Knife. Knife. Knife is a knife. 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 Again, I'm pretty sure there's a Japanese word for knife. Um, but knife. Okay, what was this one? Oh, I know this. France. France. Do you have any idea what France is? It's the name of a country. France. France. Um, and a lot of country names are also written in katakana. I've seen some country names written in kanji as well. I'm not sure if those can be used interchangeably. But France is France. I'm from England, and I think the United Kingdom is Ikirisu, maybe. Japan is Nihon, and I can't remember China. Jugoku, maybe. I live in Hong Kong, and I think that's Hong Kong in Japanese as well. Okay, what's next? Okay, necktie, necktie, necktie. It's a necktie, or just a tie, as I would call it. Necktie. I hate wearing ties. Oh, okay. So last week, again, if you were here last week watching the stream, you will see that I made a stupid but useful mistake when we were doing our exercises on Duolingo. So we were doing a unit last week on introductions, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and things like that. And one of the questions was that we had to translate a sentence from English to Japanese. Um, and the sentence was, oh, what was it? Uh, Good evening, bye. That was the sentence in English. And good evening is, oh, my mind has just gone blank. If you're watching the video right now, write it in the chat. Konbanwa, konbanwa. And then for goodbye, we wrote Janet. And I wrote konbanwa. I wrote this word, wa, the last character. And that's not the correct character. Because in Japanese, let me see if I can find it. Okay, we'll just jump back into Hiragana Pro because we know that we've got all the words on the screen there. Okay, if you look in the first column here, in the H column, that ha is pronounced, sometimes it's pronounced wa, wa. So if you say I, watashi, as a subject of a sentence, it would be watashi wa, watashi wa. And they would write it as ha. And when reading this, I would have known to have read it as wa. But when writing, I completely forgot. So I was writing this last week and I thought, oh, I've got this. Konbanwa. And I wrote wa this way. And it was completely wrong. It should be ha. So I took a screenshot of this one because this is exactly the same problem. This one was konnichiwa. And look at that very last character there. And then look at the character at the bottom. I hope you can see this clearly. Again, I've made the text a bit bigger this week, so hopefully it's easier to read. Konnichiwa should be a ha, the way that it's written. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, I've got it right now. Wrong, right, wrong. I've got this right now. I know my konnichiwa. Watashi wa konbanwa. Got it. What was this one? Oh, this was a silly mistake. Okay, so we learned that gakusei is student, right? So I was thinking student, so school should be gaku. But there's some extra sounds in here, isn't there? Gaku. Gaku. Let me find out how to pronounce this properly. We're trying to learn Japanese with apps, so let me just try this. School. English to Japanese. School. Oh, yeah, it's a good job I checked. Gakko. That extra vowel sound makes it into an o. And I was writing gaku. It's gakko. Gakko. Okay. Then how do you pronounce student? Have I been saying student wrong? Student. Okay. So when you say student, it's gakusei. 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 But if you say school, it's gakko. Okay. You learn something new every day. This was just a silly one. They asked us how to write hiragana in hiragana. And hiragana in hiragana is hiragana. Hiragana in hiragana is hiragana. Okay, what was this one? Saru. Saru. I know there's a character in Star Trek called Saru. 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 Monkey. Yeah, I wanted to add that to my list of katakana words that are animals. Saru. 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 I should be checking these, shouldn't I? How do we say monkey? Huh? Okay, now hold on a second. I just searched for monkey because it says in Duolingo that monkey is saru or saru. But when I did a search on Google Translate, it said
monkey.
that's the same as English. Monkey. Oh, but you can see at the bottom. Oh, okay. So this is the kanji. So the kanji word for monkey, and that is
Saru.
saru, which is what we just learned. So I guess that for these words that we're writing or that we're learning to read in katakana, that there is a kanji equivalent for them. Saru. Okay. Monkey. Okay, then this one is sumaho. 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 What's that? Smartphone. 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 Sometimes you will get words like connection. It was connect and smartphone. Smartphone. And there are words where it is based on an English word, but it's based on like an abbreviated form of an English word. And it might not be immediately apparent what word you're looking at, but as soon as you've got it, it's easier. Like a convenience store, I think it's convenience store, and it's just the first few syllables of the English word that they've changed to katakana, and maybe there's a full version in katakana as well, and they've just abbreviated it. I'm not sure, but it kind of reminds me of Australian English, where there's so many abbreviations that it might take you a while to catch up. Okay, what was this one? Okay, we've got two sounds repeating, and I think this is hiso hiso. Is that right? Hiso hiso. And if I see two sounds repeating, I think in English, is this called onomatopoeia, where you have a word that is also a sound? Hiso hiso is the sound of whispering. Hiso hiso. Pringle. Okay, okay. It took me a second to register why are we looking at Pringles. Okay then. What flavor are these Pringles? I was at a friend's house earlier in the week. Also, I do have something for show and tell. Just imagine that I've actually brought this to show you. And this one is sour cream. Sour cream. Sour cream. And onion. 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 Sour cream and onion without the picture. I know what flavor this is. I'm good. I can buy these. I can eat them. I'm fine. They're not wasabi. Okay? So if you are learning Japanese, please learn hiragana and katakana. Please learn it. You have to, right? It will save you from buying the wrong flavor. 90% of the usefulness that I've had from learning Japanese is that when we used to travel in Japan, which we can't do this year, we're stuck here in Hong Kong. But most of the use is being able to choose the flavor of thing that you want. Okay, tekuno. What's that? Tekuno. According to Duolingo, tekuno is techno. Now, what kind of techno are they talking about? Is that music? Um, is it an abbreviation of technology? I'm assuming that if it were technology, um, that the translation would say technology, but it just says techno. So okay, take that as what it is. Techno is techno. タオル. It was a towel. タオル. Towel. Like a face cloth or a bath towel. タオル. Towel. What was this one? スタイル. This was one that I didn't expect. And I want to check this again. We'll check this on Google Translate in a second. スタイル. What is スタイル? It says here, physique. And I'm wondering about this. Because to me, スタイル sounds like style, not physique. Let's have a quick look again back in Google Translate, our source for all information. And we're going to search, we're going to search for the word physique. And the word that we've been given is
体格
taikaku. That is not スタイル. And I don't know if any of these are スタイル. So pay attention to this one. This one might not be correct. Let's have a look. We'll try typing in Japanese. Okay, then. We have our Japanese Google keyboard, and we'll see if we can write スタイル and see what it comes up with. Okay. さしすタイルたいらりる スタイル. Okay, it says at the top, I'm sick. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. But if you look at the top there, it's got the hiragana word. The katakana is down here at the bottom. So let's change that to katakana. And it says here, スタイル. Oh, where did physique come? It's gone back to physique. Oh, I must have accidentally pressed back. Wait, have I got to type this again? No, it's still here. It says style. So can we use style in Japanese to refer to someone's outward appearance? Maybe. Maybe. It's at moments like this where it would be good to really have a Japanese teacher right here. But I think the whole conceit of this live stream is, can we learn Japanese without a teacher? Because it's kind of hard to get a teacher right now. Okay. スタイル. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for later and see whether Sudairu really is physique or something else. What was this one? Oh yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give Duolingo the benefit of the doubt that Sudairu can be physique. But there are mistakes in Duolingo sometimes. So this is a pair matching game that I did during the week, and all of them match up, except for this last one, where if you look on the left here, it says nomi, nomi. But on the right, it says noru. So, Duolingo isn't perfect. And if you do get something that's wrong like that, there's a little report button that you can press to tell them, because, it's not perfect. Okay, what was this one? Item. This is one of those moments where I see it, I don't know what it means, but you read it out loud and it clicks in your head. Item is item. Okay. It might seem like I'm smart right now. I'm not. I've already done this. So if I don't know the answer, it means that I've forgotten in the last 2 to 7 days. This was okay. Remember I was telling you before how there's a lot of fruits and vegetables and animals that are written in katakana? This is either a fruit, a vegetable, or an animal. This one is remon. Remon. maybe in your tea? It's lemon. Lemon. See, Japanese is easy, right? How do you say lemon in Japanese? Lemon. How do you say monkey? Monkey. We've got this. We've got this. Okay, what was the next one? Shisutemu. Shisutemu. System. See, we can speak Japanese. We're good. We can even understand the Japanese that we are seeing on the street. I saw this lovely Pikachu model in the shop. I say lovely, if you look here close up, it comes in like a frame, and it's like those little model robots and model airplanes that you can buy, where it comes on a frame. You have to cut it out and clip it all together, and it looks kind of scary when you see it there. But you can see here what I've been telling you about how you get like hiragana and katakana and kanji all being used together. So let's have a look. And if you look at that brown line, I'm not sure if it looks brown on your screen, kind of like arching across the top, um, it's got the first two characters are kanji characters. And because I live in Hong Kong, so I recognize those as meaning simple. Now, just because I recognize the kanji character, it doesn't mean that I will know how to say it in Japanese. Sometimes the pronunciations between like Chinese and Japanese are similar. A lot of the time they're different. But this, if you look right above those two kanji characters, and you can't see it very clearly here because the photo isn't very good quality. But there's these tiny little hiragana characters, and I think these are called furigana. And these are, it's like a guide telling you how to say the character below. And you see this a lot on things targeting children. So, it's a model, and I guess, they imagine that children will be buying models. Um, you also see it on like cartoons. If you watch anime on TV, and anime often have a theme song for the TV show. And if you see the lyrics across the bottom of the screen, whenever they have kanji, they will put this furigana above the kanji characters to tell people how to say the word, which is pretty cool. And over here, you can see this is kuiku, Pikachu, kuiku. I'm going to guess that it's quick. I'm going to guess. I'm fairly confident that this is a quick Pikachu. Quick Pikachu. Okay, finally, I think this is my last one. Wow, my show and tell's going on forever. I thought that I didn't have anything. Excuse me. So I was at my friend's home on Sunday, and they were watching YouTube videos, and we were looking for subtitles, and we found all of these languages also written in katakana. So let's see what we can see. The very top one is off, off, off. Okay, off. The second one, Italia go. So that last character is a kanji word, and it means language. And I don't know if it's always pronounced go, but I know like Nihongo, Japanese, Eigo, Nihongo. This one is Italia go, which should be Italian. Indonesia go, Indonesian. Esperanto. 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 Really? Someone took the time to write Esperanto subtitles for a YouTube video? Esperanto. Okay, what have we got next? Oranda. Got Oranda. Is Oranda The Netherlands. I remember we had a viewer. I don't know if you're here in the chat. Your Andy was watching a couple of weeks ago, and he was from the Netherlands. Let's have a look. Now, what was that word again? Oh, hold on. Oranda. Got. I think it's the Netherlands. Okay. A, I, U, E, O. Oranda. Dakten. Yeah, it's the Netherlands. Oranda. Got. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Dakten. Oranda. Got. Oh, my volume is off. Hold on a second.
オランダ語
Oranda is Dutch, the language that they speak in the Netherlands, which I have tried and failed to learn multiple times in my life. My grandmother is from the Netherlands, and I wish I'd learned it. Oranda. The next one. I haven't searched for this, but I'm looking at it. Klingon. That's got to be Klingon, right? As in Star Trek Klingon. Klingon. Got. Is it? Is it? I'm gonna just search from English back into Japanese to see whether this is Klingon. Klingon. This is a made-up language. Made up by Mike Okuda, I think. Was it Mike Okuda who did Klingon? A Japanese American guy. I could be wrong, so forget I said anything. Okay. We have Supaingo. Spain. Taigo. Thai, as in Thailand. And the last one, Denmark. Denmark got. So you see what I mean? Like when you see country names or people names or some nouns like animal names and things, there's going to be a lot of katakana in there. And that is why I have been studying katakana so hard over the last few weeks. Okay, a quick change of pace here. This word confused me. This word is, so when I was learning hiragana and katakana on these apps, I got to the bottom and we have wa, and that's what the app told me. The app told me this was wa. And I was doing Duolingo a couple of days ago and I saw this character, and the first thing that came to mind was, I never see this character. Right? I just don't see it. I haven't really seen it on Japanese items that I've bought. I haven't seen it in sentences, but I know that it's a Japanese word, but you don't see it that much. But the thing that confused me was over here in the corner, it said it was pronounced o, not wa. It said o, and I was confused. It's like, what's the difference between this and a, I, U, E, and o? What's the difference? So I did a quick search, and I did a search on Stack Exchange, and I was so surprised. I didn't search on Stack Exchange. I did a Google search, and I ended up in Stack Exchange. I always thought the Stack Exchange was for like computer programming and things like that. Or is that Stack Overflow? Anyway, we're on Stack Exchange. And someone asked here, when is the katakana form of what used? I'm pretty new to Japanese, says, oh, I don't know the name of this person. I'm pretty new to Japanese, says this unnamed person. I've been trying to learn hiragana and katakana. So, same level as me, maybe? I know that in hiragana, what is used only for as an object particle, and it is always pronounced like o, o. So, I'm guessing it's kind of like how uh, you have that word watashi wa, konbanwa, konnichiwa, and how it's actually written as ha, but it's pronounced wa when it's used as a subject. So that wa is like a marker that this thing is the subject of a sentence. And I think that o is a marker for the object. So this person asked, which, very reasonable question here. This made me wonder what the katakana form would be used for, since o would be used for anything with an o sound. Okay, the o, a, I, u, e, o, no, o, could be used for anything with an o sound. Even if a direct object is written in katakana, the o would be in hiragana, right? Okay, so it's a really good question, isn't it? Like, you would assume that that particle, the wa or the o, would just be written in hiragana. And the answer, one of the answers I thought was really good, and I want to read this to you. And I don't know who wrote this answer, so thank you to whoever wrote this on Stack Exchange. Some of the posts indicate that what is very rare, which is what I just said. This isn't really the case. In general Japanese usage, yes, it is very rare. However, if you have all katakana text, then you will always find o written as o. That sounds weird. You will always find the hiragana o written as katakana o. And this is something that I didn't know about. And just reading this paragraph, it's quite interesting that there is such a thing as all katakana text. All katakana text might be encountered in child-oriented media, such as video games. I've seen plenty of old games that only use katakana, such as Downtown Neketsu Monogatari, River City Ransom, or Morero Junior Basket, which is called Hoops, and in the original NES version of Metal Gear. What in katakana is used in all of them. And then it says, some of these games used all kana due to technical limitations, but sometimes all kana text is a stylistic choice. So yeah, if you go back to like 8-bit gaming, if you go like all the way back, you know, back in the late 80s and early 90s, you know, every bit of data in your game would have been, you know, super important. Like the currency on individual bits of data was really high. And I guess they saved space, or maybe there was something like if they had to have an individual sprite for each character on screen, then having hiragana and katakana would double the number of sprites that you need for text. So there were games back then that they would just write in katakana. But then it says sometimes it was a technical limitation, sometimes it was a stylistic choice. And I thought this part was interesting. In manga and video games, robots will often speak in katakana, much like using an all caps digital font in English. That's quite funny. Transcriptions of Morse code, telegrams, etc., will also use all katakana text, and therefore what. So usage of what is alive and well. It's just that the context where it's appropriate are infrequent, except in certain media. So I guess if you're reading like a lot of science fiction, especially like comic books and things, uh, that you will see this character a lot more. But in your general day-to-day usage, you'd see it a lot less, which is quite interesting to know. And yeah, I found that to be uh, a little insight into why we need to learn katakana. And I thought that was quite good. I'm going to have a drink of water. I've been talking nonstop for nearly an hour. Okay, then. Shall we get into Duolingo? That's what I promised you 50 minutes ago, that we were going to be doing some Duolingo today. And I've been quite good this week. As you might know, last week I did skip a day. And, I'm not going to feel guilty about that or anything, but it can be difficult to maintain a habit of practicing every day. And this week I've been, making more of an active effort to make sure that I at least learn something every day. Okay, let's have a quick look in here and let's see how everybody else is doing. Oh, see my 2020 report. How much have I learned in the past year? I've been doing this for the past month, not the past year. Okay, 2020 year in review. You have made Duo proud. Wait, is the parrot called Duo? Okay, way to make the most of 2020 by sticking to your language goals. Let's take a look back at all you have learned. You made your days count with Japanese and Korean lessons. I don't even remember learning Korean. Okay. 11.5 million learners practice Japanese with you, making it our number 6 most popular language. Okay. Screen time well spent. Okay. I spent 90 minutes studying on Duolingo in 2020. Wow. That's not hard enough. And in that time, I've studied 270 words. Share my stats. I'm sharing them with you right now. Okay, then. 9:30 a.m. What is this? You're an early learner, an early riser. I'm an early something. Yeah, what's happening here is that I've made my text super big so that you can see it more easily, and we can't see it easily. Okay, then. I've earned XP. Great. You deserve a better 2021. Whether you want to get ready for a trip in 2021, whether you want to get ready for a trip or broaden your career opportunities, treat yourself to more in 2021. Okay. Oh, wow. With my 90 minutes of learning in 1 year, I'm in the top 34% of Duolingo learners. That means that you're not working hard, people. Come on, work harder. How are my friends doing? Okay, then. And where am I ranked among my friends? I should be ranked quite low. Let's see how Ozzy's doing. Hey, Oscar. Oscar is doing quite well. I think he's still learning Spanish, but he's learned Japanese as well. And just like me, he studied a lot on Tuesday last week and a lot less later in the week. The crazy one is here. TTV. Look at this. Look at Telkin. I mean, he hasn't learned that much this week, nothing at all, but he has so much XP. He had a 236 day streak. I hope he's okay. Has he given up this week? Anybody else? Who else is doing well? How's Katie doing? Katie's not doing well at all. She studied a little bit on Sunday, and that is all. So I'm doing better than some people. Okay, then. Let's jump out, and we're going to jump back into katakana. Okay, let's learn the characters. Okay, so we're going to start with these words. We have e,
E,
ko,
ko,
ku,
ku,
and he.
E.
Oh?
E.
Is that the wrong pronunciation?
E.
It sounds like re, but this is he. I wonder if that's the wrong pronunciation. Should we report that?
Mu.
Okay, we have mu,
Mu.
a,
A.
ma,
Ma.
and you.
Yu.
I'm getting good at this katakana, right?
Mu.
Mu. That's the
Mu.
first one. Okay, we're good. What have we got here? We have re,
Re.
ru,
Ru.
i,
I.
and ri.
Ri.
And we're looking for re.
Re. No.
And the last one we have na,
Na.
tsu,
Tsu.
no.
No.
And this one that sometimes catches me out, so,
So. So.
so, because it looks a little bit like doesn't it? It's which one was it again?
No.
Not
No.
is this one. And the reason why I'm kind of like focusing on katakana right now is because I've had problems learning it. I found hiragana to be a lot easier to learn. Um, and I think that's because the characters look so different from each other that once you've learned them, it's kind of easier to remember. But with katakana, some of the words look kind of similar, and it can be a little bit confusing for me. But it's getting less confusing now. I've been doing these live streams for like a month, and it's getting less confusing. As you can see, I've got how many rights in a row?
Yashi.
A few. I've got a few rights in a row.
Yashi. Yashi.
Yashi. Yashi would be yashi. I don't know what that means. We're in this together. We're practicing Duolingo with 11,000 people. How many of those are on Twitch? Okay, we have ane, ka, oh, kawa,
Kawa.
kawa. What? I told you they look too similar to each other. What would be that one? Wa is difficult. Kare, are,
Kare.
kare. Okay.
Heso.
Heso. So here we have heya. Heya looks like, isn't that room?
Heya.
Heya. We have heso.
Heso.
We have noya
Noya.
and shia.
Shiya. Heso.
Heso is this one.
Heso.
We're doing well. None wrong so far. Is that right? Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to just look at the left-hand side here. And I think we have mura, noki, 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 yama, tsuya, and heya.
Heya.
Tsuya,
Yama.
yama, noki,
Noki.
and mura.
Mura.
We're doing well.
Handsome.
Okay, I've never heard this one before.
Handsome.
Handsome. Handsome. Do you think that's handsome? Handsome. Let's use turtle speech.
Handsome.
It's either handsome or it's ham sandwich. Handsome. Ha. Where's sa?
Sa.
Mu. What do you think? Handsome? Ham sandwich. Handsome. How do you say ham sandwich in Japanese? Hold on, I've got to find this out. Ham sandwich. English to Japanese. Hamu sandwich.
ハムサンドイッチ。
Ham sandwich. Handsome. Okay, let's keep going.
歴史、
歴史、歴史、
歴史、
彼氏、or 趣味. Okay, we have 少し、武蔵、昔、群れし、群れ、群れる、群れる. That's hard to say. 群れる、
群れる、
群れる. We're looking for 昔、昔、
昔、
昔. We don't know what that means.
彼氏、
彼氏. So we have 彼氏,
彼氏、
we have 晴れる,
晴れる、
we have 垂れる,
垂れる、
we have 明れ、
あかれ、彼氏、
彼氏. Okay. At the end of your easy exercises, you'll get a bunch of hard exercises. And by hard, they mean they're just going to cut the sound. So we have the correct character for mu, and we have yu, ma, mu, and a. And ma and mu look quite similar to me. I remember ma because it goes up to a point at the top as an A would. And I remember mu going down and up as a U would. That's just how I've remembered that in my head. Let's see if I'm right. Re. So we have ru, I, ri, and re. 14 in a row. Are you bored yet? We'll do some real exercises soon. So the katakana exercises and the hiragana exercises are a little bit boring because it's just sounds, like it's not sentences and things like that. But you know, it's important. Okay, we have he, no, re, mu, and ya. He, no, re, mu, and ya.
タイヤ、タイヤ、
Thai. Thai was Thailand. What's Thai? Thai. Oh. Oh. Okay, so it's not Thai. It's Thai. It's not an a. It's a ya. Thai is tire. I'm going to screenshot that so that I've got that next week. Thai. So I can add that to my list of other Japanese vocabulary that I've forgotten to learn. Okay, we have shiya, noya, heya, and heso. Shiya.
すれ、
Sure. Should we try and fly through this? Noru. Shiya. Kamu. Heso. Yama.
ウクレレ、
What was that?
ウクレレ、
Ukurere.
ウクレレ、
U. Ku. Ukulele. What do you think? Ukulele? 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 See? You see words. I'm taking another screenshot. You see words and you can just kind of guess what they are. Japanese is easy. It's not easy. Yasui.
へこむ、へこむ、
Hekomu. What's a hekomu?
I wasn't able to verify your voice, so give it another try. Alternatively, you can use the Find My Device feature on the web.
Okay, what have we got? Ya or ya? Yao ya? Yao ya? Ya or ya? Yamori. Yamori. Konya. Henka. Tanomu. We're nearly done. Sorry if you're bored.
ヘルシンキ、
Oh, I know what that is.
ヘルシンキ、
Helsinki. That's gonna be Helsinki, right?
ヘルシンキ、
Again, I've never heard that before, but it sounds like Helsinki. If it's not Helsinki, it should be Helsinki. How's my spelling? Helsinki. Helsinki. I've never been to Helsinki.
タイヤ、
Thailand. That was the one that we got wrong before. It wasn't Thailand. It was tire, like a car tire, I think. Thai. Now, last time we wrote Thaiya, we wrote a, like a, I, U, E, O, a. It should be Thaiya, right? Right? Right. Yay. We're doing great. So close to 10. Please wait a moment. So I think we're doing quite well with our hiragana study. It's looking very gold right now. I mean, there's more to go. We've still got to do that war at the bottom that was confusing us earlier. You know what? I want to stay on the theme of katakana for a second, because looking at this, animals are not here. And I was saying earlier how I think it looks like katakana is used a lot for animal names, but how long are we going to have to study this before we get to the animals? They're not here. Nature. Wow, that's going to be 2024. That's not, we're not studying that anytime soon. Okay. I'm going to do a very, very quick search for katakana animal names and see if there's any discussion online or any like lessons that will teach us why animal names are in katakana. Whoa, Stack Exchange. Turns out Stack Exchange is a useful resource. Okay. Why are the names of plants and animals often written in katakana? Okay, I was wondering why fruits, vegetables, animals, and plants are written in katakana. Often there exists kanji for those. Why aren't they written with those kanji instead? Why? Why indeed? Now I get banana because banana isn't the Japanese pronunciation. Okay, let's have a quick look here. As for easy and common words, they are usually written in kanji. These are written in katakana only in biological contexts. Okay, so for easy words like dog, you would write it in kanji unless you are using it in a biological context. Relatively difficult words whose kanji are not listed in, what would that be? I think there's like a form for commonly used kanji. They are usually written in katakana or hiragana in newspapers and official documents. People can generally read these kanji, but they might not remember how to write them. There are hundreds of plant and animal names whose kanji are simply too difficult. And the majority of Japanese population don't know them, and they don't want to know them. So they have no choice but to use either hiragana or katakana. Okay. So it seems that like in the fields of science and biology, that katakana is being used a lot more for animal names. And I guess there's so many different species that it would be difficult to find a kanji word for all of them. So you're going to have to write it in either hiragana or katakana. So katakana must be the way to go. What have we learned here? Well, we've learned that Stack Exchange is a good resource for learning Japanese. Okay, let's try some Duolingo. And I think we can try, excuse me for a second. Intro 1. Oh, we don't actually need to go to Stack Exchange for all of this information. I only just realized this week that for every lesson on Duolingo, there's actually a tips page that will teach you something. So before we jump into introduction, let's actually read the instructions and the tips. Okay, what's your name? We're going to talk about some differences between Japanese and English. In English, we would say, I am Maria, he is American. But Japanese speakers often leave out words like I and he. It's usually understood from context. Yeah, we've discovered that earlier on, that quite often when you speak in Japanese, you don't need to say watashi wa. You can say, but you don't need to. Another difference is that the verb comes at the end of the sentence in Japanese. And there's other languages like this where they go subject, object, verb, whereas in English it would be subject, verb, object. So like instead of saying I like you, subject, object, verb might be I, you, like. There are languages like this. Plus, it doesn't change depending on the person you're talking about. In English, there's so many different verbs, like I am, you are, he is. In Japanese, we just have des, which is great. So the verb forms are perhaps simpler in Japanese. What have we got here? It says, hajimemashite, Maria desu.
マリアです。
Ah,
はじめまして。
hajimemashite, Maria desu. And you can see here on that sentence, Maria, because it's a name that's written in katakana, but hajimemashite and des are written in hiragana. I think hajimemashite has got a kanji character at the beginning of the sentence normally, but they're using less kanji here because we don't know it yet. Another way to introduce yourself is to say
と言います。
doimasu, which means my name is. Oh, sorry. So you have to put it at the end. So that would be Anthony doimasu. Okay. Konnichiwa, Maria doimasu. Is that right?
こんにちは。
Konnichiwa.
マリアです。
Maria desu. Sorry. Okay. There's a lot here. I think, should we just jump straight into the lesson or should we keep going? Konnichiwa, Maria desu. Konnichiwa, Maria doimasu. Okay, showing respect. If you want to talk about somebody else, be sure to put san after their name. It is a sign of respect. Maria-san. Okay, in this case. John-san, in the case of this picture. And yeah, san can be used for men or for women. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It could be Maria-san, John-san. If you want to say John is American or Maria is Japanese, we have to put wa after John or Maria to show that it's the subject of the sentence. Okay, we're good at this. I think this is things that we've already covered, except it tells us how to say China. I forgot this one. Is it Jugoku?
中国。
Jugoku. China. Okay, we're good. Let's jump in. We've got this, right?
村。
Mura. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got I,
い。
Mura,
村。
America Jin,
アメリカ人。
and we have Gakusei.
学生。
So I don't know what Mura
村。
means. I know America Jin is American, like someone from America. So America is the country and Jin is a person. And I think that Jin is normally written in kanji as well. And we have gakusei, which is student. But we're going to find out what mura is, hopefully. No, we're not going to find out what it means. Did anyone ask what it means in the comments? There's nobody in the comments. Mura. Okay, select the correct character for gakusei. Gakusei, student. So this first one is sensei. Sensei. The second one, I think it means village, but I don't know how to say it. I think it means village. The next one, daigaku, daigakko. I don't know whether this would be daigakko or daigaku. Gakusei. Okay, let's have a look here.
先生、
Sensei.
村、
Mura. Oh, that was the word that we just did before. Mura.
大学、
Daigaku. Oh, hold on a second.
学生、
So gaku is this one character, study. And gakko, there's another character after that making that long vowel sound, isn't there? Gakko. Maybe we'll learn that later. Oh, what did they want us to do? They wanted gakusei. Gakusei is student.
学生、
Gakusei, that's the one that we've just done. Gakusei.
学生、
I.
い、
What's this one? Jugoku.
中国、
That's China. We learnt that on the tips page. You see, reading the instructions is useful. Mura.
村、学生、
Was it gakusei?
学生、
Gakusei. Okay. Mura.
村、
Duolingo is quite interesting in that they don't explain things straight away. So they didn't bother saying like what mura meant at the beginning. They introduce the word to you. They then associate it with the kanji, and then later on they'll tell you what it means. They still haven't told us. They still haven't told us what mura means. I'm hoping they will at some point. Oh, so we had mura, and then we have nakamura. Nakamura. That's a surname, right? Nakamura.
中村、
Isn't that a surname? Jugoku.
中国、
Hon. Like Nihon. Hon.
本、
Gakusei.
学生、
I do have a slight advantage with kanji in that in Hong Kong I see Chinese characters all the time. So I will recognize the characters. And I imagine that if you had never learned Chinese or Japanese before, that the kanji would be a big problem. Fortunately for me, excuse me, sorry. Fortunately for me, it's not too bad.
中村、
Nakamura,
中村、
and we have Mura, Hon, and Gakusei. They still haven't told us what Nakamura is, or even what Mura is. I think it looks like the Chinese character for village, Mura. Naka is the character for middle. Middle village? They still haven't told us what it means. Okay, Jugoku.
中国、
Hon,
本、
Gakusei.
学生、
America, Jin. Oh, that was what I just said. Look, this time they've written it differently. So this time they've written America in Katakana, but they've written Jin in kanji.
アメリカ人、
And this word, Mura,
村、
we still don't know what it means.
はじめまして、中村と言います。
It's a surname, isn't it? Hajimemashite, Nakamura to iimasu. Hajimemashite. Nice to meet you. Nakamura. Maybe it's Nakamura is a family name. To iimasu. I think that's what we just learnt at the beginning, which was my name is Nakamura. Nice to meet you. My name is Nakamura. Yay. Are you a student? Okay. Student is gakusei. Let's see if we can get this right. Gaku. Ka with the duck ten. Ku. Kakiku. Gaku. Sei. Sa. Shi. Su. Se. A. I. U. A. Gakusei? Yeah, that's right. Because if you look at the bottom, it's given us the kanji for gakusei. If I'm asking you, are you a student? Do I just say gakusei desu ka? Is that right? Desu. Ta, ti, tu, te. De. Su. Sa, si, su. Desu ka? Is that okay? Can we just write gakusei desu ka? Check. Yeah. Gakusei desu ka? Gakusei desu.
はい。
はい。学生ですか？はい。学生です。先生ですか？いいえ。Oh, I can't remember how to say I'm not a teacher.
はい。
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 We're doing well. Are you Japanese? So when we said are you a student, we said 学生ですか? 学生 being student, right? So Japanese would be 日本人, 日本人, right? 日本人ですか? Maybe 何はひふへほ日本人さし add a duck ten しん人日本人 oh it's helped us write 日本人です日本人ですか日本人ですか日本人ですかいえイギリス人です If I'd actually joined a language class instead of doing this on Duolingo, I would have learnt this like the first week, wouldn't I?
はい。学生です。
Hey, I understand Japanese.
はい。学生です。
Hi. We knew that one already. Hi.
はい。
学生
学生です。
学生です Yes, I'm a student. We got
中
this.
村さん
Oh,
は学生です。
it sounds like Nakamura. Nakamura. Nakamura.
中村さんは学生です。
Nakamura さんは学生です Nakamura さん So that's Mr. or Ms. Nakamura さんは Wa was that particle that we were learning before that tells you that it's the subject of the sentence. Nakamura さんは学生です Wait, how do we know whether in English to write Mr. Nakamura or Ms. Nakamura? Because we don't have an equivalent term in English that covers both, do we? Can I just write Nakamura is a student and ignore the fact that in Japanese it's Nakamura-san? Nakamura-san? Is that okay? Okay, I guess.
はい。学生です。
We know this one. Yes, I'm a student. If anybody's watching this and I get something terribly wrong, or you know that the answer is going to be wrong, write it in the chat. Maybe we'll get it right. Yes, I'm a student. Okay, great work. Let's make this harder. It's already hard. Ms. Nakamura is a teacher. Okay. We're going to try to write this using the Japanese keyboard. You don't have to use the Japanese keyboard. So there's a button here that changes it and it gives you multiple choice. But I think using the Japanese keyboard helps you to commit it to memory a little bit more easily. Nakamura-san. Okay. Nakamu. Mamimu. Mamimu. Nakamura-san. San. Wa. Don't get this wrong. Okay? It sounds like wa, but we need to write ha because we're smarter than last week. Oh, hold on. The keyboard has helped us to change Nakamura into kanji. Nakamura-san wa. Oh, it's a teacher. I was going to put gakusei desu. Luckily, I read that again. Nakamura-san wa sensei desu. Sashisu se. Sensei ai desu. Tati tu te. Te. Dakten. Sashisu. Okay. I think we've got this right. Nakamura-san wa sensei desu. Ms. Nakamura is a teacher. Yay! Are you Chinese? Type it in Japanese. We've just learnt this one. Chugoku. 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 How do we write this? Where is chu anyway? Chu. Chu. I don't know how to write this. Do you? A, I, U, kakiku, keko, sashi, su, ta, ti. I don't know how to write this. It's not tsu. Jugoku. It's not su. Su becomes zu. How do you write jugoku in Japanese? Kaki, ai, nani, hahi. I have no idea. We're going to have to do multiple choice. Jugokujin.
中国人
Jugokujin. Desu ka?
ですか
Jugokujin desu ka? How do you write that in hiragana? Is there any way to find out? I'm going to have a look in Google Translate because I want to see whether there's a hiragana for this. So we can search for Chinese. Okay. Oh. It doesn't say how to write it in hiragana. Okay. Can we do a quick search? Maybe if I just type Chinese in hiragana. No, it's just put it in kanji. Oh, okay. I found it. It's chi, but with a u afterwards, so it becomes chu. Chugoku. Let's try to write that. Where's chi anyway on the keyboard? Let's try and write this. We'll change it back to Japanese. So that's I, ki, shi, chi. Okay. Chi, chu. And it has to be a small chu. Chu, go, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Chu, go, kakiku. Do we need another u at the end? Hey, Rose and Salt, welcome back. Do you know how to write Chinese in Japanese? A, I, U. That doesn't look right. Chugoku. I'm wondering how to make my U smaller. Chi U. Because I'm looking at the keyboard and it's giving me the katakana. Okay, chu, go, ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Go, ka, ki, ku. Chugoku. Did you mean China? I did mean China. I'm just wondering how to write China in hiragana or katakana. Just trying to figure it out. Like, if I need to write this on the keyboard, how would I do it? How are you feeling, Rose and Salt? Is your leg okay after your accident last week? Chugoku. You're here a little bit late right now because I'm going to be going soon. It's after 3 o'clock here. Chugoku. Okay, we're doing well. Good. I hope that you're feeling great. I really hope you are. Hey, we've reached level 3. We're doing well. Okay. I am going to be going in a second. It is nice to see you. Do you think we can do one more? Let's finish off greetings and see what we don't know. I don't remember it.
先生、
Sensei, that was on our list before. Sensei is teacher. In Chinese, those characters could be either teacher. Yeah, Jugokujin is Chinese person. Yeah, I know that Jugokujin is Chinese person. I was trying to figure out how to type it on the keyboard, and I was struggling. I don't know why I couldn't type it properly. But this word sensei in Chinese, it can either be sir or teacher or husband. And I remember one time I was going to a friend's home, and then my friend told the security guard that I was her teacher. And the security guard thought that she'd said that I was her husband because it's the same character. I wasn't her husband.
先生、
Sensei,
先
teacher.
生、
And at the top we also have gakusei, student.
願い、
Negai. What does negai mean? Negai.
願い、
Negai.
願い、
It's not telling us what it means. Okay. The first one we have here is Hosan. Gakusei.
学生、
Sensei.
先生、
Ra.
ら、
Kyo.
きょ、
And za.
ざ。
Okay. What was please? Thank you is arigato gozaimasu. Let's have a look. Okay, what have we got here? We've got komen. Oh, komen, like komenasai. Komen. We have nagai is a request. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. See, I don't need to pay for a teacher as long as you're around. What does that kanji mean? Or is that one that we just learned before? Onegai. Onegai shimasu. Oh, so when we say domo yoroshiku onegai shimasu, we're actually asking someone to be nice to us, right? So it's this one, isn't it? It's please. Nice. Okay, sensei. We got that.
先生、
So,
ぞ、
se,
せ、
gakusei,
学生、
and be.
べ。
Ah, good morning. Good morning would be ohayo gozaimasu. So it should be this one. Ah, ohayo gozaimasu.
お願いします。
どうもよろしくお願いします。Please? Nice to meet you should be はじめまして。We're doing much better this week than we did last week.
おやすみなさい。
Oh, what was that? I've heard that one. おやすみなさい. Is that good night?
おやすみなさい。
おやすみなさい. Good night. Please. お願いします。
お願いします。じゃあね。
じゃあね. Bye. I do need to go soon. Ah, excuse me. Excuse me is すみません, right? Ah, すみません.
すみません。じゃあ、おやすみなさい。
じゃあ、
じゃあ、
おやすみなさい.
おやすみなさい。
We're doing great. じゃあね. おまたね. じゃあ。
じゃ、
ね.
ね。
じゃあね.
こんばんは。じゃあね。
こんばんは. Good evening. こんばんは. Not ha. That was what we got wrong last week. こんばんは.
わ。こんばんは。じゃあね。
じゃあね.
じゃあね。
Okay, here you are. どうぞ。どうも。どうぞ。どうも. It's どう something. Oh, and they're both here. It's got them both. どうぞ。どうも. And I can't remember which one it is. どうぞ. That's what I'm going to say.
どう
That's
ぞ。
my guess. Chat pop-up is delayed. It's fine. Don't worry about it, Rosensalt. Okay. Ah, good morning. Ah. おはようございます.
おはよう
ござい
ま。
ますす. Okay. Good morning. おはようございます. Should we try and write this? あいうえお。おは Do you think it's おはよ? Or おはよ? Yeah. おはよ? That doesn't look right, does it? おはよ? No. I'm not sure how to write this, but we're going to try. Do you think that's right? おはよ? おはよ?おはよう。かきくけこごさしすせそございます。ございますさしす. I don't think that's right. I think I've got this wrong. Because if it was right, I think that it would come up with the correct answer on the keyboard. Okay, let's see what we got wrong. おはようございます. So we want that wrong. right? It was just one vowel. Ohayo. I just need an extra u at the end. Okay, okay. I'm quite happy with that one. Okay, let's try again. A, I, U, E, O. Hayo, ya, yo, u, u. Ohayo. The punctuation mark. Was there a punctuation mark? I didn't see it. Ohayo. The punctuation. No. It wasn't the punctuation mark that was the mistake. The mistake was that I didn't put the extra u at the end, the vowel. So I missed one character. I think it doesn't matter if you don't put the punctuation mark. Ohayo gozaimasu ka kiku. Ohayo. Ohayo gozaimasu ka kiku ke ko gozai. It's good content, this, right? Ma su sa shi su. Ohayo gozaimasu. What do you think? Have we got it right this time? Good job. And the punctuation mark wasn't the problem. Ohayo gozaimasu. We're 7 XP away from our daily goal. But I don't think I'm going to be able to make it today because I do have other things to be getting away and doing. But it's been really nice to see you, Rose and Salt. Thank you for coming. I'm not sure if you just arrived or not, but I am on my way out. But I'm going to keep going this week and try to get a little bit of practice in every day. Sorry I was a little bit late today, but because of the coronavirus, kids are at home and they have to use the computer before I can. So these days I can only get online when the computer isn't in use by anybody else. So I have to work my way around the student schedule. But yeah, it's been nice to see you. And if anyone was interested in my stream or interested in anything else, then you can head on over to, well, I made a little website here called AnthonyKel.live, and it's just links. There's links there to my Twitch, to my Instagram, and my Twitter, and my YouTube. We are well on our way to our target of 100 YouTube subscribers. We've got 12. You're going to come back again next time you stream? Yeah, I should be on at around, I'm not sure what time it is. Right now in Hong Kong, it is 3:15 in the afternoon. I should be online at about 1 or 1:30 next Monday, but I'm not sure what, it depends on the kids' schedules as well. But I hope to be online at around this time. Yeah, AnthonyKel.live. That website's there right now. If anyone's watching this video like a year from now, I probably won't have paid for the website to be renewed. So that's there right now. Or you can just go to Anthony Kelly Yip here. I'll normally put a tweet up like 5 minutes before I go online. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly when it's going to be, but it's probably going to be next Monday afternoon at about this time. So yeah, I'm going to make a move now, and it's been really nice to see you. I'll have a proper chat with you next time if you're in the chat. But I've got to run away now. So thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you.